Welcome, my beautiful souls. Today we're going to do another little special reading. Um, Today is a special day. We have 7 planets that are going to be aligning in the sky. And I actually wrote down a few things that I want to cover. And then I'm going to do an intuitive spread. But let me tell you what I wrote down first. So, this is what they call the Great Alignment or a planet parade. We have 7 planets aligning: Saturn, Mercury, Neptune, Venus, Uranus, Jupiter, and Mars. By the way, I know Mars just went direct, and I feel like for those who feel like they've just been under this black cloud, I feel like now energy is going to start feeling better and better and better. Venus is in retrograde, which can bring back old lovers. And let me tell you why I'm saying that. Let me continue with what I wrote. So this is really a heightened time of cosmic energy, meaning it's a time for increased spiritual awareness. By the way, this I'm telling you, there's going to be so many spiritual awakenings this year. Some people won't have a clue what's happening, but that's okay. They'll figure it out. um, so, anyways, this is a time for increased spiritual awareness, personal transformation, and a deeper connection to the universe. To the universe. This is a time that is meant to really set your intentions, practice meditation if you do. Um, or you've always wanted to, this may be a great time. I know I have a few meditations on my channel that are not too long. One is the energy of God or the frequency of God. Another is the frequency of love. Um, and then there's a few on there just to calm your mind. I have one that opens up your chakra. So, anyway, you might want to check those out or anybody's, follow anybody's. Um, so what was I going to say? Oh, so yeah, this is a time to set intentions, practice meditation, engage in rituals to really harness this amplified energy for positive change within your life. So rituals. Let's talk about that. One of the things I don't do it all the time, but like if I have a lot going on that's difficult or what have you, around a full moon, I will, and I suggest this to you all the time, just write it on a piece of paper, like everything that I want to let go of. And then I just literally burn it under a full moon. I would recommend the same thing. So while you're out checking out the alignment, because you should be able to see it in the sky, that may be something you want to do, but also then set those intentions of what you'd like your life to look like in the near future. Um, you know what I mean? Letting go and then opening up to whatever is new. So this is alignment energy that is meant for love, communication, creativity, and manifesting. It's a special time, which is really what made me do this reading, is what called me to do this reading today. So today I'm going to do 5 cards like we did before. I wasn't going to bring out the romance angels, and I thought, well, this energy is also about love, so let's bring it out. So we'll end up taking 5 of the Gilded Tarot. I'm actually going to go ahead and bring the lid down. And we're going to take 5 of the Tarot of Dreams. I'm going to give them a shuffle. And then I'm just going to intuitively choose just from what I feel. It's funny, I can never do that spread like, oh, okay, I don't feel like that. Okay, this one wants to come in. We have 3. I know this seems like a sloppy way of doing it, but I'm just allowing myself to feel the cards. All right, there's our 5. So let's pick these up if we can. Oh, all right. All right, so we have our 5 ready. Let's go ahead and do the same thing with the Gilded Tarot. Let's give them one shuffle. I know I could have done this beforehand, but I really like doing it with you here. All right, it's the same thing. We're just going to spread them across the table. Okay, I accept you. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick these up. And I'm thinking, should I do 5 romance angels? Why not? All right, I'm going to set those up there. And we have those ready. 3 of Pentacles didn't want to come up with the rest. Well, 3 of Pentacles is a great, could be a great omen for us because this is all about your creativity, and this alignment is about your creativity. This is about your individuality, celebrating who you are. Other people are celebrating, what it is you do. Could be something you're just beginning at. This really is about using your individuality, being proud of who you are, creating from that energy. So I feel like that's a good omen. All right, let's do the romance angels. Okay. So it's like this one just wants to be picked up, so we're going to take it. Okay. Romance angels. All right. So let's go ahead and begin. So again, I'm really doing this reading. It's not just for today because I feel like this is just the beginning. Like it feels like a new portal that's opening up. So I feel like it's a great day to do it on. Actually, I even want to I brought out all my gear, like my healing beads, my rose quartz for love. Brought everything out for you. The moldite, something I've been using. All right, let's go ahead and begin. We have justice. Well, that makes sense. Justice, first of all, card Libra. Um, but it is about balance. Justice is really about using the sword of justice to cut ties with what's no longer serving you. That makes complete sense because what you're really doing is opening up energy so that new can find you, new and improved, let's say. But to me, it makes perfect sense that justice would be the first card. For some of you, I feel like it's karmic rewards, which tells me that you probably have been through some karmic lessons. Don't regret them because that means that you've paid that, if let's say you completed that lesson, so to speak, then you completed it for eternity. Never have to go through that again. All right. We have the Four of Swords, healing. Beautiful. But can I tell you, I do feel like for some of you, it is healing for you. But I also feel like it's also about healers. Um, this reminds me of like spiritual awakening and someone not really understanding like why am I feeling this way? It's almost like, I feel like when you have a spiritual awakening, sometimes you can feel truthfully like you have the flu. Um, but that's just temporary. This is beautiful healing energy though. Okay. We have the Knight of Swords communication. That makes sense, right? Mercury is part of the planets that are aligning, coming right in towards the Four of Swords. We have the King of Swords. So interesting. Could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We do have Libra right here. But it doesn't have to be. And I want to say that I feel like, I often feel like this king. Why did my screen go so dark? What the heck? See if we can lighten it up. That's weird. I often feel this king though, he looks like he's behind bars, right? But yet it feels like he's communicating. And then we have the emperor. Wow. Powerful energy for anyone who is, first of all, it is a card of Aries. But other than that, I want to say the emperor to me, you know what I feel like? I feel like someone may communicate with you. And one of the things they may say to you is that they themselves have evolved, that they have freed themselves, maybe from someone else, or maybe from limitations within themselves, like, things that I had to work on. It's interesting because you have the Knight of Swords right before the King of Swords, and it kind of feels like someone has matured. So that's a potential. We'll see. But I also feel like this is great energy, especially because we saw the Three of Pentacles where you're creating. And remember, this is very creative energy. Creative sources are just going to start, at least open yourself up to letting divine, like, you know, feel that creativity. Because I feel like this can talk about real success. This could be an opportunity that's coming to some also. It's reminding me of like Mars going direct, where I felt like for a while, like I was under this black cloud, but now that cloud seems to be lifting and things seem to be moving again. The Knight of Swords right in the middle of this reading, but this knight is looking right over at the Four of Swords. So I feel like healing is number one, healing of oneself and allowing that healing to take place. That could come through meditation. But I also get this feeling that while some of you, maybe, I feel like I'm not in, I'm not in a very creative mood, Sandy. I don't know what I don't even know what to create. Well, I feel like your guides do. So this kind of feels like for some of you, something that maybe your soul wanted to do before it even came into this lifetime. And this may be the perfect timing for it, the perfect opportunity. This could even be like a job offer coming your way, something that definitely feel like it increases your stability. But let's not forget justice is first. To me, that makes sense, right? Using that sword. And all you're looking at with that sword is what is just no longer fitting in my life. What is causing, if I really want to go after certain dreams, but I haven't, what has held me back? So being very truthful with oneself, Um, and literally cutting out that lower energy, that lower vibrational type energy. So I feel like this feels very good for money, feels very good for business ownership. And again, some of you may have felt like, this king could certainly be you, male or female, where you felt stuck, but now communication seems like it's flowing. I love that for like authors, writers, using your voice. You may be speaking about what you've been healing from and how you were able to do that. Interesting. All right, let's take the Gilded Tarot, and I'm going to go above. So we have the Queen of Cups, um, can be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. It doesn't have to be. Let's bring these down a little bit. She's got a cup in her hand. I don't feel like this is someone we're cutting out of our life. I feel like it's the queen making a decision. It's like she's looking towards the future, not the past. She does have a cup in her hand. And it's almost like she's about to deliver that cup. But let's see. Let's follow her. Hello, Knight of Wands. I feel like for those who've been, let's say, disconnected from the world for a little while, I feel like something's going to shake up your life. Knight of Wands, to me, is great energy. It is fast moving energy. And it's coming above healing. So I get this feeling like, if I've been in this healing mode, it may be time for action now. It's like, okay, you can continue to heal as you continue to move forward. But now this queen with that cup in her hand, and then the Knight of Pentacles, passion, desire, and it's coming in. I don't know. Is she bringing it in? We have the Ten of Swords. Interesting. Interesting place for that to land under the Knight of Swords. We have, look at this, two kings. We have the King of Pentacles, who can be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, coming above the King of Swords. And then last but not least, we have the Strength card. I mean, we still have a Romance Angels. We're not done yet. Strength card. Card of Leo. The Strength card is dealing with our own inner demons. It's really inner balance, and it becomes your power. It's a sense of courage. And I feel like the courage is because I was willing to take a good hard look at myself. 8 is also about a new beginning. And usually in the Strength card, you'll see the infinity sign, like as above, so below, no beginning, no end. That may talk about love. But I get a feeling also that for some of you, there may be something that you've been overcoming, that could be, something hereditary. I don't know if that's the right word I'm looking for. Interesting, a Queen of Cups and a Strength card, they're looking right at each other. So, somewhere along the way, we have this Ten of Swords here. And I don't know, I'm wondering if one of these kings, um, let's just say, it's interesting. All of a sudden, I feel like someone put this King of Swords behind bars. And I don't mean literal bars, but I feel like I put you behind these bars. I feel like communication was not good. This may be, and by the way, it doesn't mean that I'm cutting out an air sign. What I feel is more like where there was difficult communication, And I feel like you like put this person like you drew a line in the sand and you put them on the other side. Venus being in retrograde, you may hear from them, and there may be a real chance of them, especially because we're having these spiritual awakenings. This may be one of them. But I feel also like be careful not to let anything come between you and what it is you want to do in the world. I love the Emperor, um, especially with the Four of Swords, and even the Queen of Cups, because this could be something I'm doing for a living. And I do feel like, I've said this a few times where healers are going to be, and I know somebody keeps thinking I say Hiller, healers, healers. Healers are being called into action this year, just the way it is, just the way it is. That means the world needs us. Doesn't even mean we know everything. But I could definitely see using your experiences to help others overcome their own. Let me just take a look at this before we move on. I'm noticing a strength card above the Emperor. And normally the Emperor, let's say it's a person. I feel it twofold, by the way. I do feel this business wise. I feel this for business ownership. And I feel success. It may just be beginning, or you could already be into it, but you may start to see the fruits of your labor. Again, it reminds me of like Mars going direct, where I felt like for a long time I had this cloud over me, and now the cloud's being lifted. I feel like your messages, your signs from your guides should be very clear. I don't feel like the Ten of Swords still exist. I do feel like that's past energy, but it does kind of feel like, some of you may have dealt with like a narcissistic type energy. Maybe that's why I put this person behind bars, so to speak. This queen, I don't feel like she's just going to hand her cup out to anyone. Why? Well, because she's used this sword of justice and she's looking forward. She's not looking back. Is that cup going to ultimately land in the King of Pentacles' hands? I have a feeling. Now, it doesn't have to mean it's an earth sign. To me, it means someone who's grounded. Um, in the upright, I do feel the King of Pentacles is loyal. I live with the King of Pentacles, and I have to say, this is the first time in my life where I've been in a relationship and really I have zero worry about trust. Like we trust each other without doubt. And I hadn't had that. Now, whether it was someone else or just my own energy I had to overcome. But boy, does it feel good. Okay. Let's take the romance angels under it. We have finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Well, coming over under justice. I'm not going to have that, right? Especially with the emperor here, because I feel like it's you. That's your business. Whether, you're self-employed or you work for a company, I still feel like it's your thoughts, it's your ideas, it's your creativity. So I'm hoping nothing comes between, you know, your financial reward, so to speak. But I feel like that's exactly what you're doing in justice. Like, you want things fair. I don't feel like you're even asking for more than you deserve, but I want to be treated fairly. Also, I get this feeling where maybe some of you started a business or you're doing something. Maybe you're just starting the groundwork. And there could certainly be other people who just don't believe, it could be something like a spiritual business. And, the people around you are like, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? They're on a different wavelength. Don't let that stop you. All right. We have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Mirroring the Knight of Wands is coming in quickly, carries passion, desire with it. I feel like it's this queen who's really sending it in. And it could simply mean that this queen is opening her heart again. I do feel like she is thinking positive, and I feel like she has gone through this healing period. It's interesting because, again, Venus in retrograde can bring back old lovers, but I do feel like one of them was put behind bars. Do I want to release them? I don't know. That's got to be up to you. Um, but something is telling me you're moving on. All right. You deserve love. You are lovable. By the way, this is mirrored by the Ten of Swords, where you were probably told over and over again that you don't deserve love, that you're not lovable. Well, that's all. Those are all lies. And they usually come from low vibrational energy. It's almost like someone trying to come between, well, you and your dreams, you and the life that you can really live. But I feel like you know this now. Maybe now you're just figuring out that, yeah, I am lovable. I do deserve love. And by the way, she's shooting her arrow. So I feel like she's got someone in mind. Or maybe it's just the type of love. We have it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Open your heart. Well, the Queen of Cups, her heart is open. And I know that because she's got the cup in front of her like she wants to hand that cup off. Knight of Wands is what's ushering that knight in or that cup in. Open your heart. It could even be the King of Pentacles that needs to open his heart and express your love. Go ahead and make that romantic gesture. It's exactly what I feel like this queen is doing. She may not even know how it's going to be received. She may not even have a particular person in mind. She's just looking or thinking about the future and all that she'd like to see in her life. I feel like this queen has definitely evolved. Um, Again, I feel like this queen has dealt with someone. And I'm saying queen, it can be a king too, because we have both women and men who watch a reading. So, I keep you all in mind. But anyway, it's interesting. I just noticed her two little doggies. I forget what they're called. My aunt used to have one of these. They're so adorable. But I really feel like that's her spiritual team showing in such a beautiful way, really. So I feel like this queen has really overcome a lot, has dealt with some difficult energy, difficult people. But I feel like this queen, somewhere along the line, she drew that line in the sand. And I feel like that line in the sand, she meant it. And I feel like this king, you're on that side. This king, I feel like is on the current side. um, I'm looking at express your love here, and it's mirrored by the strength card. So I feel like that's part of what the Four of Swords is or was, healing the heart. But I also feel like healing the mind, because I feel like for some of you, again, it's like, someone just telling you you can't, you won't, what are you thinking about? Like, sounds like you're speaking a different language. Well, that's just because they don't know better yet, maybe one day, but I don't feel like it's something you need to worry about. Matter of fact, I feel like those who are here, I feel like it's good karma heading your way. And maybe drawing that line in the sand, creating boundaries was exactly what was needed. Because it feels like as soon as I use this sword of justice, which by the way, when you use it, that just means you're cutting ties to, well, the Ten of Swords, even if it's just a memory. I'm not going to allow it to like sit within my brain and take up any space anymore. Um, but this is what really brings true balance. And that's the perfect way to live life. When you feel balanced, it feels like everything is working out in your favor. I also want to say I feel like there's some who may have recently lost a job. You know how like all of a sudden all these federal workers are just being fired, being told, like, give me a list of 5 things you did last week. I'd be like, F you, F you, F you, F you, F you. There's my 5 things, you know. But that's just me. I hate what's going on. Um, but let me say, and let me use another example. Sam's son, Justin, just quit a job that he just couldn't take anymore. He is an artist, and I shared on the community link. He is starting. He's not starting. He's already done it. He's created some really beautiful coloring books, and I was talking to my Sam, his dad, yesterday, and I said, I've had visions for him for so long, and now I see a vision of him taking the characters from the coloring book, turning him into a children's book, and then turning it into merchandise. And I said, I even feel like there may be this opportunity where someone approaches him, like, I could see this as like a really good kid show. You know what I mean? Like a children's show that, I'm trying to think of like the last one I can remember is like Teletubbies. Boy, that's how old I am. But that's what my kids used to watch. And I'm only telling you this story because sometimes things happen that just seem unfair, but really what they're doing is it's putting us in place for something brand new, something probably beyond our imagination. I want to say, even in love, it feels very abundant. And I feel whatever issues there were, again, that line in the sand, I'm now separating myself. You told me I couldn't. Watch me. You told me I was crazy. I don't know what I'm thinking about. Hang on to your hat. But then don't be part of it when I am successful. Now, I'm talking to whoever I feel like has told you, which clearly are lies. And especially because that Three of Pentacles, like I can't get that off of my mind. And it's all about your individuality. It's all about what you can create. And I love when we focus our mind on our creativity because it kind of lets the rest of the world just melt away, at least for the moment. Hmm. Okay. Wow. I think I want to take Mother Mary over this reading though. Let's add Mother Mary in. You know, it's such a special time. And then we have the Virgo full moon coming up. The new moon in Pisces. We have the total lunar eclipse on the 14th in the sign of Virgo. What's happening on the 29th? I think it's a partial solar eclipse, so there's a lot going on. And why I'm doing this reading is so that we can really take advantage of this energy. Again, cosmic energy. All right, Mother Mary, like the cherry on top. All right, we have sun, sun everywhere, sun. I love this card. I love this message. I watch for, notice, and trust the signs that heaven continuously sends. I get a feeling that's what this queen is doing. You know, it's like she's looking forward. She feels like she's got a lot of passion and desire within her. I feel like whatever has been shut down within her is gone. You know what I mean? Like she's not going to allow it to affect her anymore. Um, I feel like this king may be receiving her cup, but the main thing is I feel like this queen also is in true balance, which is really good. So your guides are sending you signs. Some of you, for a lot of you, this reading is a sign, but just one sign. You know, pay attention to like numbers, songs. There's going to be like little messages. And I feel like you're going to see them. You're going to recognize them. And it's up to you what you want to do with them. But I feel like the signs are only to help you move forward to become, you know, more financially successful, but also maybe find true love. Okay. Self respect. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. Something is reminding me of that line in the sand. Self respect. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. Signs. I notice, or I watch for, notice, and trust the signs that heaven continuously sends. Again, many of you, this is your sign, but this is just one of probably many. I feel like someone's receiving a cup and someone's offering a cup. I feel like the opportunity for you to create, but not just create to increase your finances. Like if you're starting something new, or let's say you've already started it, but you really haven't like started to see the fruits of your labor yet. The time is coming sooner versus later. This feels like a very abundant reading. Yes, it has a little bit of, let's just say, past, mm, you know, some difficult past energy, but what it's showing me is the ability for you to overcome it now. That's what I love about doing tarot. I feel like I see through my readings how you're all evolving. Like, I notice that I get less and less of certain cards, the difficult cards, and more of energy where I feel like it's meant to help you create the type of life you really want. You do have to be willing to put in the action, take the action steps, but these signs, they're going to guide you. And you know what I do? Because I know I'm always receiving signs. You know, I get signs before I do a reading. Sometimes my guides tell me which reading to do. Like, honestly, I had no plan on doing this reading today. I didn't even know. And then something made me, I don't know, something made me do it. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't want this to be too long, but what a special time. Um, Many will be able to see, it's not true alignment, but it's what we call an alignment. But you might be able to see it tonight in the sky. So eyes to the sky, but also remember this is a great time of letting go, but then also setting those intentions. That's kind of what this queen is doing. She's setting those intentions. She's ready to take those action steps. And maybe she is feeling that guidance. Your spiritual team loves you so much that they really want to help you reach your ultimate success. And I feel not just love, but also in your creativity. Now, creativity for me, I include like business, what you do for a living, but also business ownership, whatever you want to do. All right, I'm going to let that be, guys. I thank you. I love you. And by the way, I want to remind you, I feel like this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. There's a lot of beauty here, but let the signs guide you, and you won't go wrong. All right, guys, I love you. But thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Happy March right around the corner. Bye bye.